Hello Zang Gang. In today's video we will be going over the new DLC that will be coming out soon called the Takedown at Maliwan Black Site. I will be going over my initial thoughts of the whole thing, what kind of build I feel like I'm going to be running, some gear I'm going to be doing, what I think about the troops, and then at the very end I will show you all of the gameplay we can see so far, so make sure to stay tuned. Alright, so here's all the troops that they highlight in the gameplay you will see at the end. Let's go over them. So we have the elemental shield guys, which their shields will consume any element you shoot at them, and they will throw it back to you after it overloads. Next we have the big rigs. You've dealt with the big rigs before. They're in the Slaughter Star 3000. They're not too terrible to deal with. We got the new stealth troopers, which are just normal Maliwan troops that turn invisible. I'm sure they stay looking like this, so they're not 100% invisible, but they're harder to see. I don't know how they will be to deal with. I feel like we've had transparent troops before. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I'm not sure. It'll be fun, but you can see that they are like the normal Maliwan troops, so you can shoot their back to kill them as well. Next, we have the shielded big rigs. I don't know about those. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure it's just a shield you got to damage through to be able to get to them. I don't think it would come back. I'm not exactly sure how that works. It'll be interesting. It could work like the Bloody Harvest, where you got to go kill something to take it out, or it could just be attached to them and you just damage it enough. I'm not sure. Should be interesting. Next, we have the Overspheres. Those are pretty common. We see those all the time. And then we have Frank the Tank. We've dealt with troops like him in the past Borderlands. If you played him, we don't really have anything like him in Borderlands 3 right now, though. So these are just the enemies they highlighted in the clips anyways. Of course, there's going to be the other Maliwan troops. There's going to be the badass normal troops. There's going to be the Hellhounds. I'm sure there will be Nogs and Heavyweights as well. But from the look of this, it looks like there's going to be mostly some armored enemies. That's kind of how I feel this DLC is going to go. I feel like there's mostly going to be armored enemies like Big Rigs, Frank the Tank, Overspheres. Even the Battle Hounds are armor based. So if we're dealing with normal Maliwan troops, I think it's going to be very important that we have a high DPS weapon. I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so by high DPS, this is what I mean. There's a lot of Maliwan troops are like this. They have their big crit spot in the back. And if you damage that crit spot enough, it'll kill them no matter what. See? Pow. He was getting shielded by the Nog, and I still killed him. So you don't want slow firing high damage weapons. You want extremely fast firing high damaging weapons. Be able to hit those crit spots and kill them instantly. Here's Wotan, the new Invincible. So he looks like he's a lot like Frank the Tank, so I'm sure we could deal with him in the same manner with a nice corrosive cutsman is what I'm going to say. On top of Wotan the Invincible, there will be 2 more mini bosses. Now I have no idea what they're going to be, but if I just were to guess, I guess I would say maybe a Nog and a Battle Hound are my 2 guesses. Those would be pretty cool. Something I would like to mention is that this is made for 4 people. This takedown at Maliwan's Black Site is made for 4 people. It's absolutely not made to solo. I'm going to be attempting to do it solo, but don't expect it to be easy. They're trying to make this the hardest content they've probably ever released. So try to get some buddies together maybe and get your guys' gear rocked out, all your builds. Try to mesh them all together. Get some practice in where you need to, because you're going to need it. There's going to be a 4-man. Now there are 3 places that are really good for practicing with your team or by yourself if you would like to get some practice in. You could go to the Slaughter Star 3000. That's probably the closest thing to the takedown currently in the game is the Slaughter Star 3000. So make sure you got that down. You guys can do it with no deaths. Then you'll know your team is pretty good. You got the Precipice Anchor. That's a really good proving ground you guys can run through. Just try to speed run that a few times. They have all the different types of Maliwan troops. You can learn their different move sets and stuff. Should help you out a lot. And then you've also got the Hall of Obsidian, which has more of like the Battle Hounds and Big Rigs to get some more practice in. So do the Hall of Obsidian, Precipice Anchor, and the Slaughter Star 3000. Just run through those a bunch with your team. Get your team together and practice them. You guys got this. Alright, so here is the loadout I am currently looking at running for the takedown at Black Site. So I will be running the Chaos. The Brainstormer will be pretty good too, except we want really high DPS weapons. We don't want exactly high elemental weapons in this case. Next, I'll be running the Nighthawken, again for the same reason. I'm taking my fire weapon off just for this Nighthawken because we're going to want to stick with the high DPS state of mind. Next, we're going to be running the Star Helix. Again, some more high DPS weapons. And then the final thing will be the Corrosive Cutsman. And I think this is the most vital weapon of the whole thing. You are absolutely going to need this weapon. This weapon is what's going to kill Frank the Tank. It's going to kill Wotan. It's going to kill the big rigs. It's going to kill Overspheres. It's going to kill everything armor based. It is the strongest corrosive weapon currently in the game. So I highly suggest you get your own Corrosive Cutsman. It's going to be very necessary. Another thing, the cloning gas call is what I will be using. There's a vindictive gas call that people are liking more, but just a gas call of any sort is going to be very important. Since the Bloody Harvest event is going on currently, go get yourself some gas calls. You're going to need corrosive damage, and the gas call is very strong corrosive damage. For the rest of this, I'll probably just be running my normal max DPS Zane with the Sidorak, the Infiltrator. I might have to switch my relic off. I don't know if the loaded dice is going to be able to handle this. Alright, now builds are the big question going around. A lot of people want to know what kind of build I want to be using. Now, I can't tell you for sure because we haven't got into it yet. But I can tell you that the Cryo Zane will probably be the best build to do this on currently. Now, I say I'm mostly from a Zane perspective, so I can't say for other characters, but I would just be using the max DPS build of each of the other characters, and for Zane, I would run the Cryo build. Now, I will be going in there head first like an idiot with my max DPS Zane just to see how it handles, because at the end of the day, I would like to run it with max DPS Zane eventually. So I'm going to try to practice it a few times with max DPS Zane. If it's just so terrible that he can't get anywhere into it, I'll be switching over to Cryo Zane and he'll handle it pretty well. Now the same thing with my guns. My guns are based off using a max DPS Zane. If you were going to run a Cryo Zane, the only thing you're going to want to change is maybe put a Lucian's Call in the Helix spot. Alright, now we will do the tip of the day and then I will show you the gameplay. Dad's tips to not be dead. Alright, for my tip of the day, it is to leave the little guys. So when fighting badasses and such, don't kill off all the smaller guys, because you can leave them to get yourself up. You could also keep them weak if you would like so. I'll keep him weak and then I'll kill the badass. That way, for when I go down like this, I can just instantly go back up. So plan your second wins. There you go. That is the tip of the day. Here we are at the start of the Black Site DLC that's coming out. See, we got our normal Hellhounds, the Overseer-like things. We got the big rigs of the Maliwan again. Here's Wotan, the Invincible. He's got that Gigamind-like head, which can damage. Some more of the bigger elites. Don't know why he's using Moes. See the normal, yeah, the normal shields. These are kind of just normal enemies that we've dealt with in the game already. Except for that big tank thing back there. That's something we're gonna have to get used to. This is just showing the whole area, I suppose. These are the new troops with shields that their shield actually absorbs element, and if it builds up enough, they'll throw it back at you. And these guys are going to be the problem. They're the stealth troopers that you won't see coming. Got some more wall tam gameplay here. Yeah, he's got that whole barrier around him. You can't hit, so you got to go to these corners to damage him. But it looks like it comes off after you damage him enough, which is pretty awesome. Now, this is the last new troop right here. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up. If you have not joined the Zane Gang yet, hit that subscribe button. I post a video pretty much every single day. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see some Slaughter Star 3000 gameplay, here is where I ran through without dying a single time. Also, if you're running Amara and you're looking for a good high DPS build, there it is right there. I'll see you guys in the next one.